Mr Speaker.
The Honourable Annette King.
Mr Speaker, I have great pleasure in speaking in the third reading of the Wellington Town Belt Bill. This is a bill that modesty has prevented my colleague and friend Grant Robertson for highlighting the work that he did to get this bill into the House and today being passed. But I want to acknowledge the work that he has done. It wasn't an easy piece of legislation, and it took a lot of work and a long time to get it to the right stage with the right changes in it. And Mr Robertson, he persevered, he worked with people, he showed how you can work with a local authority as a local MP and bring forth a bill. Whilst you might not agree with absolutely everything that came in, but you got to a position of a compromise where you're happy with what is now passing through Parliament. So I want to acknowledge Grant Robertson's contribution. And he did it on behalf of not just the Wellington Central electorate, because what people forget is that the town belt is also in the Rongotai electorate and partially in the Ohareau electorate. And so it in fact covers a large part of the 3 Wellington electorates. All used to be red once. Never, well, a long time since they were blue, but we do have Peter Dunn, who I know was supportive of this bill as well, and we have worked together behind the scenes, not doing the grunt work that Grant Robertson has done, but ensuring that whatever we could do to make this bill go through the House, we would. I too want to thank the Wellington City Council. Now, the Wellington City Council, I know, have been very keen to have what has been some confusion around their role in the stewardship of this town belt clarified, and have wanted it for some time. And I also too want to acknowledge Councillor Helen Ritchie, who's always had a great interest not only in the city but in the environmental aspect of our city and how unique our city is in terms of this town belt. And as Grant Robertson said, the staff. Now the staff, they are often overlooked when it comes to taking credit. But I want to ensure that credit is also given to the staff of Wellington City Council. In Grant Robertson's contribution, he mentioned Joan Quinn, and I too want to talk about Joan, because Joan actually is a constituent of mine, and her and Cynthia Wainwright shifted from Nelson very early after I was elected, and one of the first meetings I had with Joan was about the town belt. And you might wonder why someone from Nelson was suddenly interested in the Wellington town belt. It was because Joan had done her master's thesis on the town belt, and she had an enduring and long interest in this unique green encirclement of Wellington. And so for many years, along with other friends and guardians, Joan Quinn has worked to have this day, and I too are sorry that she can't be here to witness it, but I'm sure that Grant will send her the transcript of the excellent debate that took place for the third reading. It is a unique part of Wellington. It is unique because it is a horseshoe-shaped green and open space, and it runs from the border of Wellington Central and the Rongotai electorate across Mount Victoria. It goes right across to Wadestown and to the borders of Ohareau. Now, we can't be like Christchurch, where in the middle of that city they have Hagley Park. And, you know, they're so proud of Hagley Park in Christchurch because of this big green open area, playing area, trees, recreation. Fantastic place is Hagley Park. Well, we are a city. We are on the side of a hill in a harbour. It's very difficult, other than having the Basin Reserve as a big green area in the middle of our city. But what we have had, and we have had it now for the best part of 170 years, is this horse-shaped green area that has become so popular and so important. Horseshoe shape. From horseshoe shape, I see Mr. Foster-Bell's getting a bit confused over there, but it is a horseshoe shaped, Mr. Foster-Bell, the town belt. Come and have a look at the Rongotai part. You probably haven't been over there. So this is a very unique part of Wellington. And I tell you why. Because the public love it. They value it. And it is a recreational area, a public recreational area any day of the week. And for those who don't live in Wellington, I just want to tell them, if any day of the week, if you go and look at the green belt, the town belt, you will see people out there walking their dogs, pushing their pushchairs, jogging. This is an area that a city right on the edge of a harbour can use for recreation and green space. It gives us the feeling that we have a lot more space than actually exists in the Wellington area. It is unique. I think it is probably unique in the world to have this town belt and the protection of it. And so it's been really important that it has been protected. And I think one of the problems that Grant Robertson pointed out right from the beginning when he introduced this bill is that there has been a lack of clarity on some of the core aspects of the role given to the council under the deed that was set up for the town belt. And so we really, and I think the council and the residents of Wellington wanted that to be fixed. So what the bill does do, it gives very clear definition as to what the roles are, and I think that is really important. The different roles that the council have are clearly set out. And I think one of the things that has excited me about this bill has been the ability to add more land to the town belt, because the time, yes, I'm going to talk about that in a moment, because time has been frozen in terms, it goes back to the original creation of the town belt in 1873, and it's been frozen in terms of adding extra land to the town belt. And so this bill allows it. And I think I heard Grant Robertson say that an extra 120 hectares will be added. Think about how often that happens in a city where you're able to add more to open land to the entire city surrounds. Very difficult when you've got more houses being built and urbanisation. But this will enable another 120 hectares to be added. Now, I do want to just mention one area that was able to be added, and that was the old Chest Hospital. Now, the old Chest Hospital, as you can access it from Alexandra Road if you haven't been to it, is now the home of the SPCA. It was derelict. It sat there for years with nothing happening. And as Minister of Health, I was responsible for handing the Chest Hospital over to the Wellington City Council for $1. And that has become now a really important activity in that old Chest Hospital, but it's part of the town belt. And if you go up there on a Saturday, you will see dozens of people walking up to look at the SPCA and their activities, but enjoying the town belt. And so it was able to be added, but that wasn't the case for the telecom land. And so this will enable it to be added. I am delighted, Mr. Speaker, that we've reached this stage of the bill, and we will certainly be having a celebration tonight for the work that has been done. I noted that Scott Simpson, when he spoke, said that they'd heard from the 300 individuals and organisations through the submissions. That means a lot of people had a lot of interest in that, and this is their day to celebrate as well. I would have grave doubts that there were many who opposed us keeping the town belt in Wellington. So can I say in conclusion to Grant Robertson, Well done Wellington City Council, well done the councillors and the staff of Wellington City Council. This is a red letter day, a day when we are passing legislation that is going to enshrine our town built forever for the people of Wellington.